I ain't gonna lie. When I seen Emmett on the meat wagon, I cried, man. I ain't gonna hold you because I put myself in her predicament. Because I have three boys. Now I could imagine if something was to happen to them, like the way that happened to Emmett, man, I'll be going out for blood, like real talk, because you just killed my baby. You know what I'm saying? That's bias. But then the funny thing about that situation, Shorty didn't get booked because she had kids of her own. Do you figure? Now, can you imagine if one of her kids would have got savagely assaulted, murdered, brutalized, and maimed like that? Can you imagine? So, but come to find out, this lady's still alive. And her old man and her brother-in-law, they gone. So, don't you think at the age of what, 82, 83 years old, do you think personally she needs to be justified for that murder? Don't you think she needs to be justified for that murder? Yes or no? What you think, man? You think she should be justified for that murder?
She should be crucified and burned and tortured and maimed just like that 14-year-old child was.
So you think she should get the same treatment?
Yep, I sure do.
Honestly, I don't think she should get that. You talking about stone for stone. We talking about justice. We're not talking about personal.
I'm talking about a mother and her child.
Yeah, you talking about personal justice. We talking about justice. Do you think she deserved justice at the age of 82, 83 years old?
No, she should go to jail. She should rot the rest of her life in prison.
So you saying she should go to jail,
Yep.
Even though she 82, 83 years old?
Yep.
A lot of people think.
Look what they did to do when all the women came forward. Look how old he was when they locked him up.
You talking about Bill Cosby?
Yes.
Well, was it true though?
Majority of them bitches capped.
I ain't gonna hold you, babe. I seen some of them women, even when they old. I'm like, hell.
Some of the women capped because they just wanted money.
That's what it sounded like to me.
But back to this child. Like, I really feel like she should be crucified. Like, real shit. You took somebody's child. How would she have felt if somebody took one of her kids? And did one of her kids the same way because of their skin tone?
What's the judgment? What's your judgment towards her? What's the judgment towards her?
Honestly, I don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that question. I just feel like she should pay what she did to that child's life. By any means necessary.
That was a good quote. Rest in peace to my man Malcolm X. But I think personally, I don't think she deserved outside justice. That's too old school. That's too good for her. I think she deserved to be in a jail cell, no matter how old she is. But where was that same energy at when that little kid got killed? But her kids is grown, and she moved on. She lived her life.
And the fact
What
of
about him?
the fact of the matter, they got away with it for so many years. The sad part about it is they got away with it for so many years, and that's what pisses me off even more.
But that was during the Jim Crow era. Of course they're gonna get away with that shit. They gonna get away with that shit.
Yeah, but I think it's some bullshit. And then the worst part about it was that boy's mama died of a broken heart.
That's the fucked up part. You know what I'm saying? She died of a broken heart, and then
still don't have the justice that she deserved for her son.
Right, and then her ghost is somewhere floating somewhere that she didn't seek justice. And I'm pretty sure the motherfuckers that actually knew the knowledge of the boy's death, I'm pretty sure their ghost is haunting the holy shit out of them. I'm pretty sure it is. Because there's a thing called karma, yo. Karma is a bitch, yo. Once you do dirty deeds towards other people, your life is going to be miserable. I can tell you that.
Karma might be a bitch, but revenge is sweet.
Exactly. Especially if it's like psychological. Psychological, that shit will fuck you up. You fuck around and end up hanging yourself. Or end up putting yourself in a psych ward because you can't deal with all the bullshit trauma you dealt with in your past. Like, people got to sit back and think about that shit, you know what I'm saying? Because life is too short, yo. Cherish your life once you wake the fuck up. Because one thing you can see out here today, and I live in B-Town, it is dangerous out this motherfucker. Once you go outside, nigga, you never know when a straight bullet gonna hit your ass. You know what I'm saying? And the fucked up thing is, bullets don't have no names.
Sure don't.
You can have one idiot with a gun and can fuck around and just shoot the bitch for fun, and you can be bopping down the street going to work, and you fuck around, get hit, and don't even realize the shit.
Nobody is promised tomorrow. People die every day regardless of their color and culture.
That's what that lady failed to realize, you know what I'm saying? You just took a life for nothing. Why? Because the brother was black? Or the brother decided to just not pay your ass no attention? Hell, for all we know, you probably was flirting with the boy.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know because we wasn't there. But the rest of the people was scared. But let niggas like us today been back then with that shit. They'd have fucking around and lynched our ass and we'd be the third of the time. I promise you. We can roll up there like 50 deep. And I promise you, it'd be like, oh, there goes some boys over there. Let's go check them niggers out. I promise you that. I'm going to tell you why. Because they see us as a fucking threat. Not to sound racist or biased, it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? And still to this day, even though we got a little bit of freedom, we ain't got no goddamn freedom. If we have freedom, then why the fuck are we killing ourselves? Why are we killing ourselves over bullshit and dumb shit? You can't even look at a nigga and like, hello, brother, how you doing? You got a nigga with a fucked up attitude like, nigga, what the fuck are you looking at? You know what I'm saying? You can't even have a friendly conversation with a brother today. That's what they want us to do. They want us to kill ourselves. They want us to kill ourselves because they don't fucking want us on this land. This land was always our land. Remember that, yo. A lot of people don't realize that shit. Half of us is not African American. Half of us is not African American. Do your research. If you don't know your history, look it up. Not just look it up because of Black History Month. Look up knowledge every day. Once you wake the fuck up, if you can sit back and watch motherfucking YouTube or play a video game or watch ESPN about a bunch of dumb shit, you can sit back and read a book.
And the sad part about it is if people really knew life history, they would know we are all not one color. We are all mixed with different types of DNA blood in our stream.
Facts, and that's where people get things messed up and construed and fucked up. They worrying about what family taught them once they wake up today. You can wake up and be a white person and be like, oh, I'm just the whitest person in a damn crayon box, for not realizing it when your blood and your DNA comes, when you get hurt in an accident or get shot or stabbed, your DNA gonna come back and most likely, chances are high, you're gonna be diagnosed with something. Mark my words, there's no purebreds on this United States soil anymore. If it was back then, there ain't now. Do your research, y'all. And that's the sad part about the South. The South is so trapped on purebreds But where was that energy at when you was killing half our sisters and brothers out there and separating out kids and shit? You know what I'm saying? That's why half of the Africans, when they come to America, they don't respect us because we don't know who the fuck we are. The first thing they'll say, we're lazy. We don't want shit. We always got handouts. Motherfucker, won't you sit back and actually have a conversation with me instead of prejudging me, instead of just looking at me and just have a badass opinion about it?
And then what make it even worse is people stereotype every day just because a man is black, they're a drug dealer or a drug addict or some type of whatever the hell. No. There are black men and women in this world that have real legit jobs, that pay real legit money, that don't require you to be out here in these corners and end up being somebody else's statistic.
That's just straight facts, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just take the pandemic. Let's just get off the topic real quick. I'm sorry, yo. I gotta talk about this shit, you feel me? Cause this shit like ate my skin. During the pandemic 2 years ago, I was out here busting my ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, actually out here in the front line where niggas was like dropping. Then you had to have some type of paper from the government and your job that you had to come out here if you're essential. Man, motherfuckers was getting checks, all that shit, you feel me? Motherfuckers ain't want to pay not one bill. Then next thing you know, when motherfuckers bleed the money dry, they get these evictions. And then the fucked up part is the government will sit up here and say, oh, we're going to put a freeze on shit. We're not going to do this, we're not going to do that. People were like, oh, party over here, party over